Hey YouTube, Phil here, and everyone else watching this, wherever you end up watching this. Today I want to talk about incorporating my online teaching business, something that I did, it was I guess at the end of 2015. It was really when I started doing this full time and it became more than just of a side business. Before I had other jobs, I've also had other sort of businesses of my own, but I had never incorporated. So first, let's understand the reasons why we would actually incorporate a business in general and our online teaching business. One is for liability purposes. That's why people incorporate businesses, so that your assets as a person aren't liable for if someone sues you, if something goes wrong. And so this basically means that if you make money from your business and someone does sue you for some reason, then they could go after your assets of the business, but not, your personal assets, not your house, not anything you own. So this is the main reason why we register or incorporate as a business. There's lots of different types of businesses out there, and I will say up front that I am not a tax expert, I'm not a business expert. I have an accountant that helped me do this, and he walked me through the different options for incorporating it as a business. Also, it depends on the different states you're in terms of the benefits of the different businesses. But the two main ones that I had a choice between were an LLC, just a standard limited liability company or corporation, and an S-corporation. Now, the S-corporation is the one that I chose, and first, just the limited liability corporation, company, whatever it is, that is something that is really easy to do. There's not as much paperwork as the S corporation, and when you get taxed, it's really easy too, because you basically do taxes the same way that you did before as a sole proprietor. So whether you have an LLC or you're just doing this on your own without a corporation or a business, you get taxed as a sole proprietor. Of course, if you're the only one working in your business. So the reason why I did an S corporation, though, is because of tax purposes. Both of them, they limit the liability, S corps and LLCs. You are not liable for your personal belongings, aren't liable for for any problems, basically. But with the S corporation, the cool thing about it is that it's called a pass-through entity, meaning that if you set your salary for yourself, so say you're an online teacher, and this is for any business, but as an online teacher, I set my salary at $60,000. It's a typical salary of a teacher, and so you have to make it fair. You can't just say you're gonna make $10,000 this year or $5,000 or something really low. It has to be kind of a legitimate option or a legitimate salary for that job that you're doing. But if you make any money above that, for me, above $60,000, you don't have to pay self-employment taxes on it. It's passed through. You do have to pay income tax on it, but not the self-employment tax. Because for all of that $60,000, you would have to pay the 15% or around 15% self-employment tax plus your personal income tax. If you're running an LLC, you pay self-employment tax, 15%, plus income tax on all of your income, no matter how much it is. But with an S-Corp, you can set your salary at a reasonable rate. For me, it was $60,000. It probably depends on where you live too. And any money above that, I basically save 15% that it would have been taxed at. So that's the awesome thing about S-Corps. The bad or the downside of S-Corps is that it takes a little bit more work. There's more paperwork. Depending on the state, you have to pay taxes if you're an S-Corp compared to an LLC. So for example, in California, I think I have to pay $500 or $800 every year minimum as an S-Corporation. And then, there was one other thing about and then there's other paperwork, like you have to do yearly minutes or annual minutes. You have to do payroll. And this is something that an accountant should be able to help you with. And it will be worth it to hire an accountant if you're making a certain amount of money so that you can get the tax benefit of the S corporation And then through that saving, you can pay an accountant to do it for you so you don't mess it up yourself. Of course, you could figure this out all yourself, but for me, I hired someone to do it. Once I was making more than the typical salary, it just makes sense to incorporate as an S-Corp and hire someone to help me out. So that's what I did with my online course business. Of course, like I said before, I am not the expert at all of this. I'm just telling you what my experience is and what I found to be successful for me. I highly recommend you talk to an accountant, perhaps even a lawyer who does business law. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in another YouTube Live sometime. And if you have any other questions about this or anything related to online teaching, I'd be happy to help out. Thanks for watching and have a great day.